Hi, Skido here. Few days ago, I sent out an email notifying the readers that if they have some missed opportunities in the past with women in dating, generally in the social scene, they could just reply me with an email stating what happened, what that missed opportunity is about, and quite surprisingly, a mini firestorm of emails came in. There were readers who wrote about an opportunity where they can go up to a girl, talk to her, but that didn't happen. And there were others who wrote about a situation where they could have entered an intimate development with a woman, but instead they became just ordinary friends. So I'll address some of them. I also do my best to keep everything into a reasonable length of time, because I do acknowledge at this point when this is being made, it is during the Chinese New Year holiday season. It's a great time to enjoy yourself, but I wouldn't want you to tune out of this as well. So I'll select some of the readers' emails and take a few minutes each to give my views on them. And so, this thing about missed opportunities with women, it may have happened in the past, but you may or may not realize there's something destructive about it. It tends to keep a guy in a loop or a cycle. Like a guy faced a missed opportunity with a girl, like typically could have talked to the girl but didn't. The after effect is a crappy feeling. Why didn't I say that? I could have done that, so on. Self-doubt happens even. And if these so-called crappy feelings are left unchecked, more often than not, it leads to a surrendering stance in the guy. Thinking like, why bother, this sucks, I'm just not good at this. And that, almost without fail, leads to more missed opportunities. That's right, more missed opportunities with women, feeling more down about it, the cycle repeats itself. And I say this in all seriousness, I've known guys who are caught in this cycle for years. You might even know someone like that, maybe a friend. Like 5 years ago, he tells you he wanted to make a move on this girl, but didn't. Then last week he tell you a similar story. Wanted to make a move on some other girl, but didn't as well. So it is true, some guys are caught in this cycle and will continue to be stuck in it for a long time. Question is, can this cycle be escaped? Answer, totally. Thing is, the cycle can be escaped simply by gaining an experience of taking control and acting during the next opportunity with a woman. That's right, you move, you take action the next time there's an opportunity. From there the cycle, the spell is broken. I know at first sight of this, some people might think it's easier said than done. But truth of the matter, it will be as easily done as it is easily said when an infrastructure of confidence, courage, self-assuredness is built within yourself. I'm talking about you internally, your internal infrastructure. It is about putting in the constructs that aligns with women and opportunities, such that the next time you're in a situation with a girl, you either want to talk to her or you want to do something that you know is good for you but require fearlessness. The constructs in yourself, when they are well built, will naturally make you move forward to do it rather than get held back by hesitation. I mean, think of a social situation, maybe a friend's party where there's women there and some guys. Now most guys who are there, chances are good they'll be talking among themselves, not really going up to talk to women they don't know. But on the other hand, there will be a few guys, maybe one or two, who will be striking up conversations, mixing with women they don't know. Now what is it about this that it's the same scene, same number of women? Opportunity is there for all guys, but the behaviors of the guys are different. Most guys there won't do anything, but just a few guys would go and do something, capturing the opportunities in the process. So, same scene, different action. The explanation again lies in the fact that most guys haven't mentally and internally built the necessary constructs within themselves, and so they don't have that infrastructure to support them in going forward, taking action, and talk without fear or without self-doubt. So goes without saying, in a scene where there's women, their minds will be thinking, stop, don't do anything. Whereas for the guys who fearlessly and confidently go up, doing the things which most other guys can only hope for, well, their mental and internal constructs, that confidence, courage, fearlessness, have been built in way before they're in the scene with women. So in situations where there are women, these guys, their minds will be set to go. And to them, comfortably going up to talk is easy, nothing out of the ordinary. So yes, stop or go, seizing the day, seizing the moment with women or not, comes down to your internal infrastructure, how well built it is. And to share a small aspect that forms the fabric of that infrastructure, you gotta understand that how much importance that you assign to the girl or the situation determines whether you stop or go. Right? In other words, when you have assigned too much importance to the girl, it restricts you from making your move. You see, I don't care if she's super hot, or she's the dream girl. The moment you assign too much importance to it, your ability to take action reduces. Truth is, a lot of guys, when they are dealing with situations with a woman, they mislead themselves into thinking this is too important, like there's a lot at stake here. And you can imagine how much stress and anxiety they're causing themselves. They're hoping that they won't screw up, but ironically, that level of anxiety is causing them to not make the move, which brings about a certain form of screw up anyway. It is the screw up of not giving yourself the chance to succeed. So realize this, don't assign too much importance. That's especially so when you encounter a woman for the first time. I mean, you just saw her, you don't know her, so how could she be of any importance in this case? Right? Free yourself of this burden. Go up to talk, it's only casual, nothing too important here. Okay, let there be some food for thought. And right now, let's check out some of the received emails. Like this one, I'll read out to you. Skildo, I went to a concert with a friend one time, and the seats next to me were empty. Then two cute girls came over to sit. There was 30-40 minutes before concert start. I have all the chance to talk to the one just next to me, but didn't. Was thinking that the girl will feel strange, like why is this stranger talking to me? After concert end, I go home and regret. Think my confidence not there yet. Okay, awesome email, appreciate it for sending it in. Now there was one part which caught my eye, which is the part where you think the girl will feel strange, as in why is this stranger talking to me? Now what is the basis of that thought? I ask that because just as much as the girl may feel that it is strange, the girl may also feel happy or feel delighted that you are talking to her, isn't it? So let's call it what it is. Thinking that the girl will feel that it is strange is just a guess. You wouldn't know for sure if that's the truth. It's just a guess. And granted, it is a self-defeating guess. Now put it this way, the guess of the girl might think that it is strange if I go and talk to her. It's as good as say a guess like, the girl has 3 plates of chicken rice this morning. Correct? Both are thought up in the head, but does not necessarily represent the real deal. So which is why in future, suppose you get caught in this type of a self-defeating headspace, making self-defeating guesses. She might feel strange, she might feel scared I talk to her. Now in such a case, if you're going to be guessing anyway, don't shortchange yourself. You have a whole range of guesses. So why not switch gears and go into those self-lifting guesses? Right? Instead of self-defeating, you can go into self-lifting guesses. Like, the girl might be very friendly when I talk to her. The girl might be sociable when she talks to new people. Right? So you see, what's happening here is that when you find yourself in this self-defeating headspace, you realize you're making guesses about the girl that's not helping you. What you gotta do is to carry out what I call brain scrambling. So as in the example, see the girl the first time, like to talk to her but you're thinking she might feel strange about it. You realize you're in this headspace of guessing it, quickly switch gears, guess in the other direction. You could go, this girl might feel very enthusiastic when talking to a new person. Or she might be someone who loves socializing. And that is not all. You want to truly get out of those self-defeating headspace, you can make absurd guesses about the girl. Like thinking to yourself, guessing, this girl, she works as a part-time circus clown, she has dandruff problems for years, she likes to have sex 3 times a day. Yep, you can make absurd guesses. From there you realize something, the original self-defeating headspace, you find that you're out of it already. You're in a much better state to go and talk to her. So you see, this is brain scrambling. You scramble, you disrupt that self-defeating guess, come up with self-lifting guesses, come up with absurd guesses, then you will not be trapped in a self-defeating headspace. Now ideally when you're more trained, in situations where you're going out to talk to women, it will be best if the head is not thinking of anything. But in this case I understand sometimes it's too late, like see a girl within a few seconds have some self-defeating thought already. Suppose that's the case, no problem, quickly brain scramble. You will put yourself in a better state of mind. Alright, next email. I've been interested in this girl for slightly more than 1 year now. In the past, I tried to go after her. Example, ask her out, start conversations. But because she's someone who's been extremely independent, she goes for overseas trips alone often, she didn't seem to be looking for someone at all. She prefers to be in a group setting. I spoke to a few of our common close friends and one of them said that she tried to speak to her about getting into a relationship, but she didn't really know what she wanted. I figured that at that point of time, since it was pretty obvious that I liked her, and with her not even knowing what she wanted, I thought I should just move on. However, because we still meet up on a regular basis, together with other friends, the feelings never died down over time. Okay, I'll fast forward through the email a little bit. Just less than 1 month ago, a really close friend from our same group decided to go after her, and shared with me about it. He felt that he ought to be at least man enough to tell me that he was going after the girl. As a result, there's this really sticky situation in the whole group. Now people around me are sharing that I have myself to blame if she chooses him in the end, because I took so long to make a move. From my point of view, I wanted to let her know that I'm interested, but I don't want to come across as desperate, planning to slowly build things up till V-Day to ask her out. Okay, from this email I have a few comments to make, but I'll choose the first and second on the top of my head. Now firstly, for such a situation, it will be to your advantage to be confident enough to get her out one-on-one rather than continuing going out in a group. Because if you're talking about a date, strictly speaking, in my definition is always one-on-one. That is where the most attraction can be done, can be projected through. But a group on the other hand, that doesn't count. I mean in the most simple sense, you want to emotionally connect with her, or you want to physically bond with her. In the middle of it, some person from the group jut in, interfering with whatever you're doing. That will be a big disservice to yourself. So, do yourself a service, get her out on a one-on-one. You connect much more. And secondly, the part where it's mentioned, she didn't seem to be looking for someone at all. Now for those words, this is the part where you should decide, is that the truth? Or is that something you think for her? In other words, you make up her mind for her. Like she didn't seem to be looking for someone at all. Is that what she thinks or you're thinking for her? And looking at this, it does remind me of the earlier part of my life, where initially when I first started out dating, I tend to make up the mind for the woman a lot. You know what I mean? For instance, a girl would say she liked this TV actor, quite handsome one. Then I make up the mind for her. I decided for her that she only likes guys who are this handsome. I kind of dismissed myself then. Then I shot myself in the foot because eventually she ended up with a guy who looks ugly like hell. Yep, but the main point here is that we shouldn't make up our minds for the girl. And that is specifically so when it comes to deciding ahead of time that the girl doesn't want to be with a guy or she doesn't want to be with you. Because for guys who are still doing that, still thinking and making up the mind for the woman, many a time they receive big shocks. Like they think for the girl that she doesn't want a relationship, so they back out. Then one fine day the girl got attached to some other guy. Then they'll go, huh? What the hell? Big shock. So to the gentleman who sent this email, have fun on V-Day. Tell me what happened in between the steps leading up to that day. Okay, so next one. Hi Skildo, your email below remind me of a missed opportunity I had a few years back. Saw this lady at my friend's birthday chalet, which she and her friends were just throwing a party next block beside our friend's chalet. She caught my attention as she was gorgeous looking. However, she was those typical shy type which I deem, since few guys next block tried to chat her or tease her, but up to no valid. Well, frankly I don't know what is up to no valid, but I guess it doesn't affect this email. So carrying on, I wanted to talk to her but I lacked the courage, since she always stick to a few of her girlfriends. Felt an opportunity being missed after I left the chalet. If only I could have the courage and know what to say in that situations. Any advice on the mentioned situations? Alright, thank you for that. So for a situation like this, having those what to say lines would definitely be helpful. Not forgetting however, just as or if not more important than that, is having an internal infrastructure to be fearless enough to go up to say the lines in the first place. You see, it's mentioned in the email, you are in a chalet setting. You are there for your friend's birthday. So along that line, the girl in the next block in the chalet, chances are she's there for something celebratory, isn't it? Like could be a friend's birthday, celebrating somebody's farewell, whatever. That's something you can be curious about and find out from her. And bearing that in mind, as the first line you say to her, finding out what are they celebrating, it'll be hard for her to deny you of that approach, provided you are doing it confidently and you're not shaky when talking. Just a matter of very comfortably saying to her, hey, you seem like you're celebrating something. What's the occasion? Right, whatever she reply, use what she give you. Work with what the girl give you. She could say it's her sister's graduation, friend's birthday, so on. Whatever it may be, confidently advance in the conversation. Add something playful into it, telling her things like, I hope your food is good because the one in my block, the way it was barbecued, cannot make it. So looks like I gotta steal some from you. Okay, advance with guts in the conversation. No need to feel like, no, I shouldn't be here, shouldn't be talking to her. I mean, this girl could be your girlfriend 1 week down the road, or she could be your future wife for all you know. So isn't that worth confidently advancing rather than thinking, okay, what am I doing here? And isn't that worth moving forward without self-doubt? You bet it is, and not forgetting, when you build the internal infrastructure well, many a times when going up to talk to women, that self-assuredness alone will allow you to get away with a lot of things. Like you could be in your own chalet, or a party your friend invited you. You see 2 or 3 girls, talking among themselves. You could just self-assuredly and playfully say, hey, you are antisocial, you know that? This is a chalet, you're not supposed to talk among yourselves. You have to mix around. And by the way, my name is... Okay, you introduce yourself, and like I said, with that level of self-assuredness, you can get away with things like that. So go ahead for this one, see what you can incorporate into your next chalet. Okay, next email. Hi, for me, it's more like women rather than just one woman. Many times I've walked past women in public who I feel attracted to or captured my interest, but never had the balls to go up to them. These moments will always be followed with regret, because I will never see them again. The question of what if finds itself being repeated in my mind after that. Okay, cool. Now in this email you have stated, this experience have happened more than once. So for so many times, have you identified what is the core thing that's stopping you? In other words, have you went through the process of uncovering, really micro-inspecting what is that thing that's stopping you? What is that fear? Could it be the fear of getting ignored by the woman? Could it be a fear of a physical threat from the woman? Could it be a fear of public humiliation? Now you know your fear best, but let me just put across to everybody. On a broad and wide scale in Singapore, most of the worst social fears that guys here have exist because of an awesome imagination. Yep, a lot of the worst fears are imagined rather than happening in reality. It's like personally, I can vouch, I can tell you, in my experience, I have never been screamed at or shouted at by a woman just for talking to her. I have never been physically attacked by a woman just for talking to her. Never once have a drink thrown onto me just for talking to the girl. In fact, for this one you can only see it in the movies. What I'm trying to say is that reality can be quite stiff. Worst things that we imagine would happen when we go up to a woman did not happen. You talk to anybody you know who has done tons of approaches, they'll tell you the same thing. Yes, there'll be encounters with interesting characters, interesting females, but those worst fears like public humiliation, getting attacked by women, those things are just too far away from reality. Bottom line is that while most guys are being frozen in their imagined worst fear, some men out there will be going around, going up to women and feeling safe about it. Might as well be you. Okay, this next one. Still though, mine should be a typical story. Like this girl, but she's very popular with guys. Of course I back out because I won't be considered by her. Life goes on. Alright, here's one thing to think about. Does popular girl equals she won't consider you? I mean seriously, how does that equate? There are tons of examples where typically a girl could have had choices with different guys. And you see who she goes with. Some guy who from the outlook is not better than the other guys. So how come she's with him? I can tell you first of all, for this guy, he never dismissed or discount himself from the possibility of being with the girl. Plus, like I mentioned, a guy like that, from the outlook, not impressive. You definitely have seen examples like this. You're in Orchard, walking around. See this guy, not very tall, below average looking. Then he's holding the waist of a girl who's super gorgeous. How come? Now most people's answer would say this guy is rich. Maybe, but this thing about he's a rich guy has become a popular scapegoat answer. It's an easy way out for many people to not uncover the issue further and simply say, the guy is rich. So here's what everybody should know. If taking into account a man, his bank account is not impressive, his physical outlook in terms of height looks not impressive, but he can get gorgeous girls, a key reason is because he's very strong in the intangibles. And I'm talking about intangibles like confidence, masculinity, self-assuredness. These men are strong in this area. As it turned out, it's a major appeal to women. I mean, look at it this way. Women, no matter how popular, no matter how beautiful, they have their own share of self-doubt. They could be self-doubting themselves in many things like their performance at work, how well they get along with people. They even have self-doubt about their age. Like even a 23-year-old woman would self-doubt and worry that her beauty won't last forever. Basically different things that they can lose confidence in. Thing is, for all the women I ever know, no matter how popular or gorgeous, there isn't one, not one who don't have any self-doubts. So what happens is if a guy comes along and he comes across as not confident, having self-doubts, the woman would sense that and reject him just like that. And funny enough, he can be quite good looking, but he'll be rejected all the same. Because for the woman, she doesn't need to invite any more self-doubt into her life. As mentioned, all women have their own self-doubts. She doesn't need to bring more of that from the guy into her life. On the other hand, when a man comes along and is very self-assured, it is something that the woman welcomes. So going back to the email, the issue is not with the girl or how popular she is. It is that level of self-assuredness you build for yourself to go forward and get what you want that matters. So that's the last email that's being addressed. For this video or this page, if you think the information here is going to help someone, please share it with them. And as you may know, on 31st January, I'll be releasing my Guts Mastery online training program. This is the program that teaches you to build the infrastructure within yourself to, once and for all, get rid of self-doubt and fears in situations with women. You're going to learn to build solid and deeply grounded confidence and self-assuredness. Overall, you're going to expand that capacity within yourself to accommodate more women, more dates, more social success. You're going to find yourself to comfortably and confidently go get what you want. I've created an interest list for this Guts Mastery program. You can go to it at seductionsingapore.com/gutsinterest. Or somewhere below this page, you can put yourself directly on the interest list as well. Simply put in your name and email and submit. Only people on this interest list will be informed of the full release details. as well as be entitled to receive some special bonuses on release day itself. And if there are any questions about the program, please email to questions@seductionsingapore.com. And so, do get on the interest list, enjoy yourself, enjoy this Chinese New Year season, and I'll see you.